Tora Evans Nunoo economics mami embusano opanyi utimenka
Meto nkapa
bibia boko
nyame adumo na wo
yenso yen ho ye pa de tie ne se agya mo na mo hwe amemu no mu nsem samre dollar esote na ama petrol nso sote a good sign say ye me ninja and say we ni ye de ya ti bi pen no because ye wa ha yetimi ka say dollar sote o 2 weeks pepe na eja dem nti we ye me ninja
oh I was here ninja say o my mu na say macroeconomic indicators and I say the agenda to the social economy no ekoyi and say ekoyi ni nyina no show positive signs as a well-meaning Ghanaian no I was a woman with energy this say bia na wo butai bi say bia aban no anaso man year what chances of probably being in power or doing something might be dwindling. Otherwise I ordinarily you should be happy. I was here energy. Some might say bia na enche but I bet you enche once we are seeing positive signs no a good news there we are doing well as a nation and we hope that it will trend, it will continue like that.
Then all of a sudden dollar nitimi ko from sa because the way I need sit in your money there now you predict say one dollar no be drew baby now is a 20 cedis asem.
Yes, so obviously discipline account on the part of the managers of the economy to say o share aban no buy no say obe streamline the government machinery into ote nipa dodo a ye beti o maka no so obeka say na eno so track campaign na ewom it can even have indirect impact on importation say nipa bebre na eto no ma because sika bebre na aba mining because nipa bi ewura positions a omo gisika akase a ewo institution ewo aggregate demand and no matter do eya na yetai ejinya no so because the carbon pabotuma life is obeto no bebre na say no matter do e wo man ni mu no ensu yedi a e ma nimpa na kra bebre do hwe emo to speak ni ade na ye kra na say nimpa ni hia but ensu ye interest ye bi beka ho and nan chen a there is a school of thought and as economic theory say the nimpa eye yi a ne kondo amanone no ma enti eskafo na wo man mu ha no wo mo koton broku na wo pe UK die wo mo pe US die but the ne bottom ni bi no oto ade a ope ebibidro sebi bebre na to local goods no e wo mo ni bisa no enti se nipa bebre na e wo aban mu office of the presidency their ministers their this and that wo mo preference wo mo taste for foreign goods no e koso e ba no sa they buy more foreign goods the more ye kra no ma bebre ba no the more na cities no e koso enti so o hwa no say bia aban bi say ma nipa bebre na wura aban mu abekata na send the any susaso bia o dollars no so e wo susaso pa but it's quite indirect and nan chance wa it is likely say ebia aban ne hye ni ade no ama nipa bi enya gidie wo oman ni mu enti sika bi anka wo mo be invest elsewhere in other parts of the country no wo mo e dey back and normally when obi e be invest here especially say ebia aban no release eto treasury bills and I say ye bibi na nipa bi pese wo mo take part no obetumi disike bi amana say oh nana me pese water treasury bill mami but me wo UK enti me say no sika we enti remittance is any direct inflows enyina ekos when people have profit in the economy na nipa gidi say oman ni ko yi a amana ni sika bebre na tumi bewura oman ni and na chance so asisi an ohwa aban no streamline gold enti say kwan ananke e befa so atonton gold basa ni ade ni nyina no say yetumi streamline ni ye na ye ton ye a ema foreign exchange no so ebeka aban na nkasa nsa because ebia first no sika no wo na ho gold no ye wo na dia patemi wakotu mining ebia na ye illegal mining na wetu na wenya gold ni wakoton direct what on a direct when you're direct, but a show bottom any abano. It is abano and to me and influence how the exchange rate behaves, and I'll come to that. But say abano eji gold ni free mu nyina mo na so mo see this. No koton na so nya dollars. Say even I was say release the dollars kakra into the economy. Na dollars no eyefo eba for man. Obetumi yes because we enough reserves. Into all these things come to play. I'm sure say those who are in charge of the economy are being tactical and it is yielding results and we have to be happy about it.
Me pesa me busa ade we ha me kakra but e bia mo na mo sua ho ade. Aban minim say na aban we NDC aban including even Dr. Baumi akra no mo promises and kebenya ye be free port. But let's say yentimi nye free port nemum aban decide say oko port a dollar no nko a ho dollar say bia dollar kra ye 13 and 15 wa bontina oba port nko a dia ye beton dollar no at 10 Ghana cedis and now the 10 Ghana cedis now be calculate per dollar na ye de adidwa entimi nye possible ana.
I want to understand your question where
so I am looking at one say bia normally the entire you say nyoma boy den say car boy den ya say dollar ne kosuru ntia port no dollar no mo the price inti say dollar yi 15 cedis and so kwa ya calculate amount inti Toyota Vita na bia na 30,000 say and number 70,000 80,000 because we say dollar no emo na ye ton say dollar no anwa say dollar no inti ni nyina mo ka say port nyoma na yentete so I'm just looking at say and to me, possible so by me decide say to avoid anything. Let's assume say dollar crab on 30 and 15 in pokra na potun kwande within the next 6 months, you know. But the 10 Ghana cedis NSO my pegging or 10 Ghana cedis, whether outside the A or B or C, into and no near the calculation, any possible ana.
Oh, possible. So most of the universities now, almost students create that dollars, no. Edrum rebia omo tumi efese omo exchange rate ma student no so na ebe ya obi oha ebia o Nigeria na obe school or Ghana ebia oba na yama discuss obedu na asasa kakra into some of the even the universities no they are able to fix their own exchange rate say na ya de kodo it could be bank of Ghana na say in general no ebetumi exchange rate betumi asasa kakra but you see their work no and ka me person ka work na say yentumi emphasize this. It doesn't make sense to say they should not dollarize the economy. Now the culture says don't dollarize the economy. No, on one case, air charge in dollars at the port. It doesn't make sense. So you see, it defeats common sense. Say the dollars in various ports. Car no one will produce here. Obi na yen car no be a cotton or the bow memo or the raw memo. What's the change? Also be duties in dollars for what? So Nana. You see, Adebia in Chai, and it doesn't help with our stabilization agenda. And to me, when they say, yes, the work can be valid, thank you, but me, though, exchange rate could be fluctuating by Abano, a bit if you're Pepemu, affects it, but the Papemu, I was all OGCDs. No, guys are dollar, because dollars are years ago. And I was $1 million, and so be a coffin on my back. I don't know what charging it's an argument bonia. I don't know $100. Whoever brought that policy did not help us. And I think that going forward no or manage now to me at the best this no be hotono.
Let's look at the influence of the gold board. Minim say to say the ukoko body gold board no abanse ne tofane say ono an kasabe license nkrofo to gold nam abre ono aban na nkrofo hia bia now about the 12 free aban ho. They feel said dollar and so tino. The gold board factor now moshe bibiase. And then they are looking at so far an over 2 billion dollars. And now yetimienya asomenyi. The gold board system no is sustainable. Yes,
it's sustainable in as much as yenya gold no. The only time a good board no ebe irrelevant. A timer. Ghana gold nasa yentiminya gold. And you see, when people were doing gold for oil, no stations and say it is not just the gold for oil per se, but it is the way maybe the gold for oil is able to streamline the purchases of gold and also mop up gold balances in the system. No, NABA a bit effect, but not the policy itself. And I buy we know I'm suspecting that they were thinking the way I was thinking because see, say which is good now the cost oil, say which is good now the compare dollars now the quarter oil, almost the same thing. But what is not the same? They say, "Uncle, good, no. Now, woman, any dollars, nobody says your own pass." Then the government is not in charge of that aspect of our economy. But gold need to be there buying no. Now, I buy no. If most of them cry local producers, not more cities. No, cotton. Our money, not onya dollars, not the dollars in our Bank of Ghana. Then the Bank of Ghana can use the gold, the dollar reserve to influence policies. Meaning that they make an out here.
Yeah.
Yes, because dollars what me know me and someone. Say even when aban was so probably into the system now. Nkofoko bank wo munye bi na dollars na appreciate ya. Sika na no me know me na hye pass. And then ya dwen so say yeah at the end say yeah use yes so yeah fa ma obi ya. But sika no wo aban no kwa. Na say otumi release as and when needed into the economy. So bank obenye bi we suko bank onye and at the end purely demand and supply. It ehun kra nkoye di mebre na akosoro. So the fact that dollars no the speed is no appreciating in terms of the dollars tells you say dollars no available. I have to it's a matter of demand and supply. And you know, the CNA gold board no one. If the gold board is able to streamline purchases of gold, not a gold liberty buying now buying cotton, not to Jessica, our foreign reserves no ever cost. And as and when necessary, no, the Bank of Ghana can use that to influence policies, especially that borders with price stabilization and the exchange rate.
Finally, sir, ona John Mahama say kutu ato forcing for said the beya dollar ya ashasi ebeguswa tina Ghana for ho ato mu a den futu na de bema no.
Number one, make us say enya hu de fa because the speculation so play role in how the in how currencies fluctuate. It is see na yenya positive signs no. So mo to be de na mo di hu crash ni pe bi mu a wo mo bi na wo mo release into the banks or whatever it is. And then another thing is they should pay attention to what they are doing with regards to the gold board. I mean, they should make sure that gold do a benjamin no abandon to enya kwan be so amana be no no atoni ye enya faso wo so. Na mesenya ka say they should also start working on local substitute. And normal woman dwude mu ye kra bebre fe amana ne no. They should start empowering the private sector. Now they should create the enabling environment. Ebetumi local counterpart. Going forward, no say emona yakra bebra. Ebetumi emu bebre Ghana ha here. Meaning say Yura Mahama na buying back na buy na or started the of water region. I don't know whether you remember. Rice production be in the water.
Right.
They can continue with that. Once we have more local substitutes, a time will come. Our overly dependence on import, which means dollars be any other and they should also have stakeholder engagement as to how best we can start reducing our usage of dollars in our international trade. So possibly say I might be no money and won't use dollars. Between the dollars in China and in their own currency and after all, China any dollar economy. Ghana, we are heavily dependent on China. It is Osha, Yeni Asia, Europe, Ediga more, even as against the US. So how come that is not a problem? But there is this thing. We import it about mine more. Most traders outside no, even if so on dollar economy corner, obey demand this with the dollar every year. And so I think that we should have broader stakeholder engagement with our traders and to find out how best we can also start lining the dollar sacra, especially given the posture of Donald Trump in these days.
All right, Vance Nunoo, Nhyira.
But that's for
economics and you know actually in common. My member, Honorable Collins Adumako, in common.